Hello, my name is Dominic Underhall-House and welcome to another episode of Moonbreaker, and we are here for Tournament Day. I'm doubling up already. So I'm just going to quickly go through, pop a couple of posts on Reddit and the Discord, make sure people know that this wonderful live stream is heading their way. And then I'm not really sure, so let's have a look. Where was the page here? So while we're looking at this, I'm also going to open up the tournament page and have a quick look at what we're looking at. So we've got the bracket here. We're against Maeve first of all. Okay. So we've got, it looks like 5 rounds. Interesting. So we could get a good amount of play here. 5 rounds, best of 3 in each one. 2 lists, and you can choose the list you play for each game and blind pick. The opponent doesn't know which one you're picking.
Okay, here we go. Boom! Jesus Christ, please stop doing... Yeah, it keeps giving me this bad gateway. They're having some big issues. But we are in. First round opponents are loaded up. I'm going to say eeny, meeny, miny. Korolar Shikami, you're the first one to be streamed. You're going to be jumping into Moonbreaker 2 with me. You're going to be deafened so you don't hear the commentary. And make sure you don't, cheat. Don't want, one of you is going to be Discord streaming. If both, that'd be good too, because then I can switch perspectives and get more confused than normal. And it's going to be great. Let's have a good time.
Awesome.
Make sure you catch your round 1 opponents, and you can communicate codes and stuff in tournament chat. You see the thread. Let's do it.
Okay, so we are back now with streamy things. Also, badges being shaved is hilarious. I'm just looking at the lists to see what to expect. So we've got like a fairly aggressive Extilior list, which is like the melee run at us champion, and then we've got an also fairly aggressive Zax list. None of these have all the defensive things that I need to worry about, so I'm just going to go ahead and play my aggressive list first of all, which is my tournament Astra. Private, and got the password. Turn timer is on. Let's go, let's see what happens. So we get a best of 3. What I'm going to do as well is I'm just going to keep their lists open so I can zoom in on whichever one I want to check up on so we know what to expect. And if I argue about that along with Streamlabs between the two of them, of course Streamlabs goes the other way around that I wanted. Okay. Unsurprisingly, it's the list that I thought it would be. It is this one. Okay, so I get to choose assists. Stimburst and Plink are literally 2 of my favourite assists here, so I'm just going to take that. In fact, okay, Streamlabs isn't letting me view the thing at the same time, so let's just have a quick look. It's just an aggressive list, basically. So, given that it's Extilior, they can... Oh my god, Dragon Raven's painted Extilior. That looks awesome. I am loving that. Anyone who hasn't seen that yet, I haven't seen it now. Sorry, I have seen it now. I think that looks amazing. So I'm just going to grow us into here, and we're going to go for, like, quite an aggressive start. Oh, sorry, no, not aggressive, sorry, slower start so we can get more Cinder out, because they're going second, which isn't what we want to be playing against. This is good positioning from them. They can't deploy into range, so we probably just have to go back here and play safe. We've got no lines of sight here, so we're just going to gain some Cinder and deploy some stuff. I kind of don't even hate the idea of just going for an early Shrapnel and making them deal with it. I mean, Shrapnel is super powerful, and then next turn we've got 3 Cinder so we can haste out a Maximus if we need to, so let's just place Shrapnel down just outside of range here. In fact, if we go up here, it blocks potential line of sight onto our captain as well. So this is what we're going to do. And so the plan here is going to be to basically make them come towards us in a way that we can just start chipping damage off as often as possible. So Maximus can't do much here. He can take a couple of pot shots onto Astra, which is fine. Maybe we should have moved a little lower, but they're not... Okay. The fact they got one's pretty awkward for us, but it is what it is. Okay, with Max running up there, we're just going to ignore Maximus, and we're going to start just pushing down this direction. So I think here we actually Stimburst and just really start going for Extilior. So pushing over here, getting Astra in this direction. And then, honestly, given that we're going to have 4 Cinder next turn anyway, so we can Rickety with Into the Breach, I actually think here I'm going to Into the Breach a Maximus. And so I'm going to put Max here, and we need to figure out where to move him to. So we want to basically be as safe as possible from their units up here, so we're going to just shoot in this direction, we can't really spread out as well as we'd like to here. But we're just going to plink and go for just a really quick rush on our opponent. So they've got a good angle to move down here and get an angle up this way, but they're slightly out of range for what we expected here. Oh, this is Vortex. Corrosive, okay. Corrosive's decent. It means they only need to get one hit onto our Maximus. Oh, they didn't hit Max. They didn't have a good angle. Oh, that's good for us. That's really good for us. That means this probably only takes 3. Oh, the crit. Okay, crits are good. Turns out we should have known that. But I think here, given that we've got 6, 7, 8, 9 potential damage here, we should be in a good spot. If they move up and attack us here, I think we're in a really good spot, actually. As long as they don't crit big here, that's fine. Okay, so we can just move this here and take this shot. So if we go for this, we've got a really good amount of damage here. We can take this attack, move back here. We've got a couple of choices here, so we could just like Into the Breach Rickety, which is potentially 6. We could play Deadeye, but I think we want to Into the Breach Rickety here. And what I actually think we want to do is I think we want to place it further forward and not go for Shrapnel, to try and make them have to deal with this in a different way than just shrapneling us on an easy attack. So if we get the explosion here, we're in a really good spot. Perfect. So it puts them down to 5, ping them down to 4, and then in theory, all we really need next turn is an Into the Breach on our Blindsider Eztli. Okay, Nano Shield changes a lot. It means we only have to survive for a turn. So Nano Shield is good for them. They can just move in here and take this, but we've got enough things to be defensive. And honestly, we might even be able to take out some of their things. That miss is pretty good because it means they can't get onto our Astra. So they're going to have to use their turn damaging Rickety. Okay, they can just go here, spend 2 Cinder to spin, yeah. So basically, we have to spend next turn trying to survive and dealing at least 5 damage to our opponent. Okay, so here they've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. So they've got 12 and we've got 13 health. So if we can prevent any of this happening, we're in a great spot. It could be... I'm trying to think what is the best thing to do here, because we could try and just kill something off, which is fine, but then we're vulnerable to any crits here. So I think we actually just run away and try and make it hard for them to deal with us, and then because we are going to be scared of things, like next turn we probably don't want to Axl Pyro. We probably actually want to just go ahead and use our Blindsider Eztli and like spend a Cinder on something else. So I'm going to pop Deadeye something like down here. Yeah, I think this seems reasonable to me. So if we place it... we want to basically place it so it's out of range of their Florio to get both of this and Axl. There's nothing really worth doing here, so we know we've got to be scared for a turn, but the fact that we've got access to... Yeah, so this is what it is. But if they're even vaguely aggressive, we've got our ability to follow up here. So Shrapnel's the biggest problem we've come across, but I think we're in a good spot. Oh, I'm just whacking the microphone with a glass of water. The fact that they're having to go after our other units is great for us, because even if Extilior runs away... Yeah, so whatever this is here, we've probably got this with an Into the Breach next turn. So, good game on this run. We're going to just move over here. Move in here. We might as well just release Ozos, because we know how much Cinder we're going to need, which gets us some additional range. Into the Breach our blinds. In fact... Yeah, we do need to Into the Breach Eztli, because I don't want to reveal the Scattervine and just ruin them with their own unit. So that's our first win. Excellent. So that list is... I wasn't expecting to come against the Nano Shield. That was pretty difficult to deal with. But we had enough tempo there to just keep going against the opponent. And so I think we're going to just dive into another game. Honestly, I'm happy to just go in with that same list again. And then what happens then is if our opponent plays something different, we might have a good chance at winning. One thing I do need to do actually is I'm going to quickly go in the Discord and check. Do we play all 3 games if someone wins 2? let's find that out. Okay, so they've gone for that as well. We've got Disruptor, Stim Burst, another 2 great assists, so we don't have Plink, so we're going to be slightly slower, but it's a really good setup here. Once again, we can just go for a solid shot here. It's not likely, but we might as well take it. And then we'll go for our Cinder Orb back this direction, because this might give us a better hiding spot against the Maximus. So let's find out. Yep, so they're not going to be able to do much here. We're going to be able to... Okay, so they've got Maximus over there, that's fine. So we just don't have a line of sight there, so we just want to be as far back this way as possible while getting our Cinder. And honestly, it's tempting just to Shrapnel again, maybe? But place it again a bit further out, make them deal with this. So this probably blocks as much line of sight as possible. I think this is the plan. I think we're still just shrapneling. We could, again, go for 2 units, but this is the best one we've got. And we want to make them, you know, come to us, basically. They're going to have to come to us at some point, and if they're going to start grouping up into shrapnel, we just get free value out of it. And I love the ability to into the breach Maximus if we need to. Especially if they stop here. Depending on what they deploy, we could be in a really solid spot here, just killing their Maximus, getting 2 damage onto Exterior early on, but it depends on what their second wind is. If they play something nearby, even as a 4 cost, we could actually still be in a really good spot. Yeah, like even over here, we're not in a position where we need to worry too much. That's a bit more of an awkward one. Okay, so that's Eztli there. So what can we do about this? So we could try and go for a crit, but a crit's not necessarily going to do much here. We could play Maximus and play a Scattervine, but that just is a bit lackluster. Do we have a good angle to try and get a hit onto all 3 here? Okay, I think the first thing we're going to do is Stim Burst, because I think Stim Burst is a useful one here. And try and just get shots off onto this. And then actually, I'm going to use this to push this a little further this direction, so we might actually be able to hit all 3 of these. Yeah, so this is good for us. This is what we want. If we hit Max... Okay, that's awkward because Max is the one that we really wanted to hit. But we're going to just come over here and poke this, I think. And then... So Axl Pyro is probably one of our biggest threats here. But I'd rather play that with a bit of fear in their eyes. So I'm going to go with Deadeye, and I'm actually going to place out Maximus over here as well and try and keep it safe. So we're just going to go for more damage on the board and try and deal with it that way. So this could be their own Disruptor. Yep, Disruptor, there we go. If they just go for our Captain, that's absolutely fine. Even if this is Vortex, I'm not too worried, because that just puts everything in range of where we're trying to go. So obviously they can get a range with a lot, and it's going to be a lot of damage, but we're going to be able to do a huge follow-up here, maybe clear multiple things out. So they're trying to block us in. It's fine. They're not actually in melee range of anything with Exterior, is the awkward part as well. Yeah, so Max is out. We've got 4 Cinder next turn, so this could be a big Rickety. I actually think Rickety's probably what we go for here, because if we can get a Rickety into this gap here, and maybe get multiple units, we could be in a position to just finish things off pretty rapidly. So, we're going to into the breach Rickety no matter what. Rickety is obviously the choice here. Now, this explosion... So we want to get this shot in first. Okay, we've got both of those, which is good. To me, this also means that we could potentially just push for damage onto their Captain and even ignore everything else and just go for tons of damage, try and get this explosion. Okay, not getting that's slightly awkward, but it is what it is. Actually, we may have just blocked ourselves in here, so we do have to kill this. So we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage coming here, and we know that they play Scattervine. So actually, I might have put myself in a really weak spot here. This could be a really bad play. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to move in over here, and I'm going to move this directly in front of Astra to try and avoid taking all of this damage and just trying to block them in place with units so they can't easily get to our Captain. because we do have too much damage here to actually survive. Yeah, so as soon as anything goes on anything other than Astra, I feel much better about this. So that's 2 of their abilities gone. They've got 4 Cinder left, so they can still go for attack, but that doesn't kill it. They need something to deal with this, so what we're hopefully going to be able to do is, no matter what they do, is bring out Amplifier Bitol and Stim Burst and just take them out gradually. Okay, so they're going to kill Maximus. So we've got 9 damage to deal. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Let's shorten the list.
And we can only get up to 8. So we can into the breach here. We're fine. So we're just going to do this first for 2. 100% hit. The crit doesn't matter either, so we just move away. Bring Deadeye in here for this. Bring Astra in here for 100% here. Into the breach. Pop down Blindsider Eztli again. Bring it over here and just get another win. There we go. So that is 2-0 versus Dragon Raven, so we can't actually lose the round. I need to find out what we do. Yeah, so Syracuse is... hang on. Do we play game 3 if someone wins 2? That is the important question. Okay, so that's our first round done. So we're currently 2-0, so I need to put this in the results. Underhaul 2, Dragon Raven 0. So we pop that in the results, and we have won our first round. So I'm really curious as to how everything else is going for the other players. So I'm just having a look and see who's in the chat at the moment in good old Twitch. So I'm not sure how many of these are bots and how many of these are real people, but welcome to everyone who is here. I know some of these are bots, but we've got Ella, Alicidra, Alien Gathering, Funya who's totally not welcome here. Bex, that's a bot. Diego, Drapsnat, Huxley Mantis, King of Badgers, Lilituff, and The Good Grief. Now I know some of you, and I know some of you are real human beings, so that is wonderful to have you here. But we've had, basically, those were some actually pretty solid games. We just managed to, you have the one time when things didn't go away, when Rickety didn't explode. If it did, that would have been a very easy game for us. But then we just had to find ways to body block and make sure that we could get, you know, things in the way of our Astra so we didn't die. For any of you who are new here, if you haven't already, please click that follow. Oh yeah, Diego, you've just seen you followed the stream. Somehow I must have missed that notification while I was focusing intently on the game, so thank you very much for that follow. I know I'm about 20 minutes late, just looking at the looking at the log here. So thank you very much for that. Much appreciated, Diego. Recently I've been setting up a load of different like stream things, so I've got all the notifications for this now, which somehow I missed, which is quite entertaining. Got the donations. I've set up a Patreon, which I actually got my first Patreon the same day I set it up, which gave me like a little warm feeling inside. But funnily enough, there's a good chance we end up playing against them, because it's Pax who's currently down here in Moonbreaker 3, and there's a good chance that they actually end up being our opponent. So I think what I'm going to do for now is just pop back into the other Discord channel and see what's going on there. Oh dear, I'm going to get the game started. Okay, let's look at Shikami's lists while we're here. So Shikami's gone for, there's a super defensive Zax list, and then there is a, so that's got like Beatrice, Chuck and Co and Shrapnel, but its only aggressive stuff is basically Maximus, and it's got Furia, yeah, and then the other one is, oh hey Shikami,
hello,
how you doing? I'm just currently reading through your list, trying to decide what I want to pick.
They're a bit different.
Yeah,
and,
no, but that's a good thing.
They're a bit bad too, but you know.
I don't think they're bad. They look fine to me.
One of them's worse than the other. Say it. All right, let's maybe make the room underhaul.
Yep, I think. Okay, I just need to quit this cargo run I was doing. Okay, I've set up a room. The password is password, because we're all about internet security here.
Excellent. Very secure. Nobody will be able to break into our matchmaking.
No, not at all.
It's too late, we're already locked in.
Okay. So you've gone for the Zax.
I suppose we should probably deafen and mute, but
Oh, who knows. So you've gone for Zax, and that was your super defensive one, the one I didn't want to play against. Good. Oh, my game seems to have frozen.
I'm still choosing my assist. They're all good.
Right, I think we probably just change all of our stuff so we can't hear each other anymore, because otherwise I will talk non-stop and just ruin everything.
And I'll get to get all of your lovely insights, but I'll save that for the VOD. I'll listen to it afterwards.
I will pop both of these on, I'll see you at the end. Okay, so we've tuned in straight away. We're against Shikami, we're going first. And the thing is, I already know which Shikami's list is. This is a super defensive one. So I'm actually just going to start by deploying really aggressively and try and make the most out of Stim Burst and our stun. And I'm just going to go all in as quickly as possible, because with them having a defensive list, but also having the addition of Cinder, we really need to rush this down, like, as fast as possible. So they've got their Maximus, which is obviously good for them, but we can't get a line of sight here easily. So I actually think we probably just want to start really going for it, like pushing damage in as fast as possible. I don't know if this is the right choice, because okay, that crit is nice. Where can we hide that's a safe spot here? So I kind of like here, but I think no, back here is probably safer. And I'm actually going to deploy Deadeye just here, trying to hold Maximus into place. Yeah, perfect. So now Maximus is going to struggle to get out, and we can just start turning onto them really quickly if we can do. Next turn, don't have much of a good play. So they've got Stim Burst, that's fine, but without something that gets rid of the Deadeye here, we're in a better spot. Okay, so this could be a Scattervine. If they play 2 Scattervines here, was that in the list? Let's have a quick look. No, Nectarvine was, but not Scattervine. So this is just going to be something big, so we need to basically rely on our movement to get around this. Could be Beatrice or Chuck, or this could be probably Shrapnel looking at this. So which is fine, but I think we are just going to try and go all out onto the enemy. Yeah, so there's Shrapnel. There's nothing that can be done here. Again, letting them chip damage on is fine, as long as we can just try and get things done, basically. So I'm going to move up here to try and get this damage in, and move a bit further away from where Shrapnel is going to be. Yeah, I think we actually have to rush this. I don't know what other option we got. This is a good shot here, so we'll take that. We could push Maximus. I think we're just going to go into here, take that shot, down to 10, and then really we just need to be... We've got Stim Burst next turn, so deploying something fairly safe that Shrapnel can't quite kill would be good for us. So like, if we go over here, given that we've got Stun and Stim Burst next turn with Eztli, there's very low chance of them actually killing it. So we're just going to go all out, trying to kill the captain. We're going to try not to get blocked in here. It would be awful if we did actually. We should have moved slightly further away. So they can take Maximus. We've got 4 Cinder. We can into the breach Rickety and just apply all the pressure that we can. If they go here and try and take out Deadeye, that's good for us, because we can just really push the damage in here. We've got 5 damage here and potentially 6 from Rickety as well. So this actually puts us at potentially having lethal next turn. So pretty good spot for us here. They're going to need to move Shrapnel to do anything about this. They could just go to shoot our max and that's fine. Yep, so them hitting that's pretty likely. If Shrapnel goes for this, I feel quite good actually. Obviously depends on what assist their last one is. If they've got like a stun here, then we are in a little bit of trouble. But the fact that Deadeye is still alive and they've got something to play here, this could be the Nectarvine. Oh no, it's not. They've not got enough Cinder. Okay, so this is looking good, especially if they deploy somewhere like here. We've got everything we need to basically get the other side of them, even with Rickety, and potentially clear out here. Okay, so this is good for us. We can basically move over here, get the shot, into the breach Rickety over this way. We've got 16 health, so we're not going to take anywhere near enough damage to be lethal next turn. So we'll just go for this. We'll into the breach Rickety. Rickety can try and just bring in... Can we get Shrapnel without getting us? That looks like we do get Shrapnel, so let's go here.
Oh, that'll tape back on.
Oh no, have I just blocked myself? I've just blocked myself. That's not good. What if we just stim burst here? Can we do anything about that? No, we've really messed that up. So, Beatrice can move over this angle. So I guess here we just have to... I don't really know, just go for next turn. Shoot this.
Give me another minute.
I think we hide here and go slightly defensive, try and get out of range of it, and then just stun here.
Any regrets?
And just move a little further up.
Get ahead.
We've still got Into the Breach and something next turn. Oh, we can just double Scattervine actually, so... Yeah, we're not in too bad of a spot. We just need to deal 1 damage here, really. This is a good Shrapnel. But yeah, the fact that we left ourselves out of range there is pretty awful, but we have still got lethal. If it comes to it, we just need to basically Scattervine them to death. Which is good. We just need 1 good line of sight here, we've got the win. But this is pretty awkward. If they played Nectarvine, actually, we could lose. Yeah, they played Nectarvine. So, the question is here, how do we make up for our mistakes? Do we just... Because we got 3, so if they're running this way, they can kill... Oh, this is so bad. Oh, but they've already attacked here.
Yep.
So that gives us at least a bit of option to start working on that. I can't believe how badly I messed that up. I literally blocked myself off with Eztli there and potentially ruined everything. So, the following turn we have got Axl Pyro and we've got access to Shrapnel. So I actually think here we still just need to go all in on them and try and just be as awkward as possible, because they've got 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage and we've got 14 life. So without Amplifier Bitol, we're still in a good spot. They're going to heal too. I think we just go for as much damage as... Well, this is pretty horrendous. I can't believe that just happened. This is some of the worst playing I've done. I've blocked myself off of lethal. I've misplayed horrendously. So what do we do? I think we do actually just still go for this. So we go for the hit and move back. We place a growth here. Go for the hit. Keep them down to 3. And then...
1 win, 1 bug.
I don't think we need to give them any Cinder. I mean, we could just... How far can we be? So we might be able to get over here and be safe and use Stim Burst next turn, but this is so awkward. But at least we've got a good chance of dealing something next turn. Like, if any one of these survive, we're in a good spot, because we can then just Amplify Bitol and get it. The fact I left myself out of range here is about as bad as it gets. Yeah, so they're just going to run away. I think we probably are into the breaching Axl Pyro here and just trying to get damage over 2 turns. I've really messed up, but Stim Burst might save this for us if we get one of these alive. Because that's 5 damage, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5 damage here. So this could be where Stim Burst saves us, actually. Yep, this is fine. No, no, don't block us, don't block us! Okay, yep, that's a really good block. I think we've lost this, genuinely. I don't think I've got the tools to deal enough damage here. But we need to try. So the question is, how do we go about that? Like, obviously burning them is great for them. We could try just playing 3 vines out. But the question is, how do we survive? So... what do we think wins, most likely? I think more vines are actually the best choice we've got. So I literally think our best thing to do is place a vine here and hit this. Grow a vine here and hit this. Okay, a crit is nice. You can move back this direction. Grow another one here. Another crit does it, actually. And move back in this direction. Grow another vine here. Hit this. Move in this direction.
One win, one bug.
Do we have a good angle? Oh no, we blocked our good angle. What am I doing? Okay, so let's go with this. 88, come on. Oh, thank goodness. I was not expecting to get that turn, but that crit changed the matter a little bit. That was intense. That was absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe how... The fact I threw that game away at least once, possibly more, is pretty brutal. Oh dear. So we know we can beat it. It's just a matter of how it goes. I'm going to go for the same again. And just play that here, but that was absolutely gut-wrenching. I wasn't convinced I was going to be able to get there. I've made so many misplays and left us in a pretty awkward spot, but we did make it in the end, which is good. So let's see what we can do from here. I'm waiting for Shikami to join us again, but you know what they say, all's well that ends well, and that absolutely ended well for us, so very glad to have had that happen. I've got a few new people in here as well. I think Drapsnat was here before, but we have got Brawlsterner. Hello, welcome to the stream. Very glad to have you. In fact, yeah, we're currently trying to figure out how to win round 2 of this tournament, and it turns out it's not by making massive misplays. That's not been the ideal ideal thing to go for. But this has been quite fun so far. I couldn't believe how long the last round went. Like, Pax and Maeve went forever in their game, and it went the way I didn't expect it to either. I honestly thought there wasn't really a line for Pax to win that, and Pax came back and took Maeve out pretty consistently. Not pretty consistent, pretty, like, handily, I suppose. Okay, what's going on here? Let's just message... Hey, a new follow-up, Brawl! Hey, thank you very much for following. Very glad to have you here. I'm just seeing if what's going on. See if my opponent's coming back. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us. I'm hoping you're enjoying the stream. If you've ever played Moonbreaker, let me know. If you've got any like thoughts about it, or if you liked just seeing me struggle at that point and just slightly cry to myself trying to figure out how to end a game that I've potentially had won, then I would also love to hear that as well. I'm just going to pop the stream on my phone as well and see what's going on. But yeah, this has taken a bit of a turn, this one. It's been a bit of a long event. Okay, starting game. I believe this is... Okay, it shouldn't... Okay, Shikami hit public. That was why that happened. Okay, so what did they go for? They're going for Zax again. We're going to go Disruptor Plink. This gives us so much more pressure here. Especially if they get the... Oh, we're going second as well. So if we get somewhere we can get line of sight, then this is really good for us. We can just go for a really aggressive start. Even if they play like a Maximus out. So if we have a good line, I think we take it. So maybe like here. Try and get that 50%er. Yeah, we go. We can start plinking down. But in this situation, unless they have Stim Burst, we're actually pretty safe with a Cinder Orb back here. And this way, we've got such a big turn to follow up from here. So we'll be able to just go in here and play 6 Cinder of things. So we can potentially play Shrapnel and maybe like Deadeye, or we can Into the Breach something. We can do so many things from here. Yep, so in this situation, I actually don't even hate going for like an Into the Breach Shrapnel or something. Like Into the Breach Deadeye actually works, because then we can still play something else as well, like a Maximus. Yeah, so if we play like a Maximus down here, move here, shoot, Into the Breach Deadeye, shoot again, move somewhere safe, and then plink. I mean, we use our life total as a resource, as is, the need of the game. So if we move here, and what we can actually do is if we play Maximus back here first, gain our additional Cinder. Then we can into the breach, gain our 2 Cinder, play Deadeye in here, I believe. Yep. So if Deadeye takes this shot, we can move back here, get a bit to safety as well. We can plink this, get Astra to shoot, gain a bit of free movement, move back here, and even grow a Cinder Orb ready for next turn. So this has put us in a huge Cinder advantage. Just taking very... Yeah, so the player pool is a bit of an issue at the moment. Basically what it is that there's a lot of people that are really into the game, but there's not that many playing at once, and right now they've just released the experimental server, so it's actually quite common for people to be split between 2 different servers, one with a live client and one with a bunch of sort of wacky wild things to do. So it's very different, very interesting, but I absolutely love this game, and looking at the experimental server, there's so many things to come that are actually just super exciting. So I really hope that you're going to be able to see a lot of these and just sort of, see all the stuff that people can play with in the future, and I'm excited for it. So here, obviously, this isn't a good situation for us because our Deadeye is going down to 1, but we can shoot and move away, and if we can shoot here, move forward and into the breach a Blindsider Eztli, we can clear this up really quickly. Yeah, so here comes the Fate Twister Tantan side of things. We want to just get this shot. This is the one that matters the most to us here. Okay, so that's great news. So we can actually just move.
I forgot my lucky cravat.
We do need to hit something here, so I'm going to go for this, just in case we've got a 50% here, so we should hit one of these. Yeah, we did. Which means we can get our Cinder. Now, if we get it just about right, we should be able to get... Okay, so this seems good to me, because we can hit this, we can into the breach our Eztli on this side. Eztli can come up in here and kill Deadeye. And then we can plink over here. And we're getting a really big board advantage now. We've not lost a unit and they've lost 2. And the only thing we've got here is a low Deadeye. So, maybe there was a chance we could have pushed Deadeye. In fact, we could have even just used Disruptor to make Deadeye safe. If they've used that here, there's no reason to... Okay, they made Blindsider Eztli miss, that's fine. So on this occasion, we're probably wanting something that can start dealing with stuff up here. So Shrapnel's fine, we're not worried about Shrapnel. I think now we just start pushing damage onto the Captain, but we may want to try and deal with Fate Twister Tantan as well. So I'm thinking maybe even just trying to get over here, see if we get a line onto Zax. Because if we do, that would be great. We don't. This gets a bad line onto Zax, but it's better than nothing. So I think here we just go for this hit to make sure that we waste the Fate Twister Tantan buff. We're going to move over here, take this shot. We're going to go for the blink. I think here we just start really pushing damage through. So I'm going to into the breach Rickety Backfire, but I'm actually, before that, I'm going to play Scattervine and go for something a bit bizarre where I'm going to hit with Scattervine, move out the way in this sort of direction, then do this, then I'm going to into the breach Rickety, and just try and make sure we don't hit too many other units. So I think this looks like we're in the clear from hitting our own stuff, just about there. I just misclicked, so I'm not actually sure. Hopefully we get the explosion here. We do. Do we get everything we wanted? Oh, we hit everything instead of nothing. Perfect. So I'm actually just going to pop up here and just take more shots up this way and try and clear up as much as we can, staying in a bit of a safe position. And we've now got them down to 3. We've got Scattervine next turn and Plink, so we've actually got lethal off the board. Oh, that's awesome that you watch the videos from time to time. Like, everything except the painting sessions. Do you know what? The painting sessions is a bit of a variety thing. So some people like them, some people don't. Personally, I don't think I could sit there and watch someone else paint, but some people seem to like watching me paint. So I'm not going to say no to that if that's something they enjoy. Okay, yep, this Plink here. So the fact that we've got Scattervine means that we've got this pretty much locked up, barring them playing a Nectarvine and us not being able to get 2 damage him. And I think I feel pretty safe about this. So Nectarvine can go down here, that's fine, but we've got Maximus and Blindsider Eztli here, and we can just double Scattervine and use our 1 Cinder ability here. Yeah, so if they don't have anything else to play, we've got this here. They can cancel this, that's fine. That could be their last Cinder. No problem at all. So, in theory, we should be able to get this if Maximus can just deal his 2 damage, but if he only deals 1, we've still got Astra in here to do it as well. So, let's go for this. We should hit... Okay, we hit 1. This should be the second one that we need. Okay, there we go, and we've got the game. Oh no, wait, we've already used our Scattervine. What are we doing? Oops. We can just plink this down. I guess Maximus is running scared a little bit again. Oops, that's a bit of a mistake. And we're just going to place Shrapnel down, I guess. Oopsie. Hang on. We don't have Into the Breach for anything yet. We can Into Breach something next turn, so we can just pop this down here. And we're just going to move this into... Yeah, they still don't have enough damage, so we still want to get the blocks off. I know it's guaranteed to miss either way, but that's not the point right now. Okay, so I may have messed that up. Oh yeah, there's going to be loads of videos where I play and explain. That's pretty much the main thing that I do. I can't believe I actually thought we had Scattervine then. That's pretty awkward. But here, I don't see a world in which they can stop us dealing the damage we need to. We've got 3 damage coming off of that, or we've got Amplifier Bitol. So everything that we can do here is going to be more than enough damage to finish this off. But yeah, no, I'm still trying to bring out daily Moonbreaker content, so if you've got any suggestions, feel free to pop them on the channel comments, and I'll see what I can do from there. There's loads of different things that I'm happy to take up. Okay, so I'm wondering what this could be. This could be a defense dome, but if it's a defense dome, we work through it pretty easily with our Bitol. And if not, we've got Axl Pyro that just kills this nearly on its own, basically. They could go for 2 units here to try and get big damage. They could try and go over here, get the crits. I think this isn't out of the realms of possibility that we do lose. But it depends on what they go for. Hitting their own Tantan's pretty good. Okay, that's Beatrice, that's fine. That's also fine. So they still need to prevent 4 damage. But this isn't going to do it if they're not quick. Okay. So the good news here is that we're very likely to win this. So we're going to pop this over here. Pop Max over here. We play Amplifier Bitol down so that both are in range. And just go for the big lethal. There we go. So that's another round. Another round, another victory. Another 2-0. Some really solid games there. Again, that first one was super sketchy. I didn't think I was necessarily going to make it, but I'm really glad that I did and made it through there. So hopefully I can keep this record going into the next round. Okay, so we're on to the finals here. Big bit of drama. Looks like we're starting. So Pax are saying they don't know which this. So yeah, there we go. They've gone for Zax. I thought they would probably go for Zax, and we're going to go for Astra. And honestly, I don't really mind which order we go in here, first or second. Disruptor Plink is golden here. This is absolutely what we want. It actually means that our Astra can keep on par with Zax in terms of damage, which is a pretty rare thing to get. So, hey Thomas! Oh, thank you for all of the cheering. I'm actually, in theory, this could potentially be the final. So if I win this, there's a chance I actually win the entire thing. There's no big prize or anything, but it's still pretty great to have the potential of winning the first event. So thank you so much for tuning in. It's always lovely to see you. And like I said, you can now see I've got this little stream notification, so when all the bits pop up, you can actually see it. Okay, so there's nothing we can do here that particularly impacts this. So we could go for a bad line of sight down here. We've actually got a 1% chance anyway, might as well take it. 1%. Okay, no. We're going to take the Cinder, and honestly, we've got Vortex next turn, so I don't even hate playing Eztli and Maximus out here. So what if we played like Eztli over here,
Ah, the
and
art of surprise.
maybe Max in like roughly the same spot?
Looky what
Let's
I
try
got
this.
here.
Yeah, thank you, man. So there is a world in which, oh, they've got a clear line of sight. That's not what we wanted. Oh, is it clear? No, maybe not. So it's not got a great line of sight here, but we've got Disruptor, so there's a world in which we could actually just take out Max with Blindsider Eztli next turn. We've also got access to 3 Cinder, so... Okay. Yeah, Peacemaker Balam. So we just need to be really aware of that the whole time. There's nothing we can do that, you know, makes us want to not deal with Balam. So here we can actually go for a decent shot onto Max, because I think we can actually pop Max out. And we can just try and get some damage onto him.
What's this do?
So I'm going to try with Astra first. In fact,
Get the jump on
if we try with Max first, Max makes more sense, because if we get both hits with Max, we can get that. Okay, we missed that, which is unfortunate. So probably pop back here. We'll go for this. We could get a crit. We didn't, but that's all fine. We plink.
this.
And the question is, what do we want to do here? So, honestly, I'm actually okay with this, because there's no guarantee that they could even deal with this. So I think we actually just Scattervine Max for lethal. As in, not for lethal, but like to kill Max. And then up in this direction, we are a little bit safer from their units coming back. And we can just grow a Cinder. Probably here, so we can jump to the other side and take it. Because I get the feeling we might want to go in that angle. Oh, we didn't move Eztli. No, we should have moved up here. That was a mistake. So we're 1 crew up. They can get a good line onto Scattervine, but then we can just start going for it. They can attack our Cinder Orb, which isn't too bad. Okay, oh, they've got Plink, of course. I still think that's worth it for Max, but this is a mistake, leaving this back here. This could be up here and threatening 4 damage next turn. So that, I think, is a bit of an issue from me. We've got 6 Cinder next turn, so if they play something relatively weak, like a Snailing's fine, because we can start looking at trying to find ways to deal with Snailing using like Shrapnel or something. So
I'll make him proud.
like here we're going to take this, and I think honestly we do actually into the breach Shrapnel and move forwards, because there's nothing else. I mean, we could also go for Axl Pyro, but we don't have any lines of sight here at all, so this needs to move up. Axl Pyro is fine but doesn't do that much, but it's actually 6 damage. Let's into the breach Axl,
Rise and shine.
because I think this should get into range.
This working?
Okay, so if we get here, we've got a good line of sight. We can Fire Flamer both of these and move a little bit back. How far back can we get? How safe do we want to be? So we can go to there, which puts us pretty safe from there.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Some of their units here. We can move up this side with this.
I've got plans soon.
So Max does need to move up to give us a bit of an option here.
This Max.
Astra can only hit here, so we might as well go for it.
And
Got a crit, and because we got that crit, I actually think plinking them is correct, because we've got burn on them and plink, and this is going to start really chipping them down. So this could be a big Balam turn for them, but we've got into the breach Rickety here, and that's exactly what we wanted to happen. So we don't mind this happening, because we know that if we into the breach Rickety onto this situation, there's a good chance we can actually kill Balam anyway. So if we just move forward, use Max up here, into the breach Rickety, we can potentially deal so much damage and still plink. We may not be able to get Balam here, but second wind, yeah, so what's their placement? They've got 3 Cinder. If they move away, that's also fine. This looks like it could be a Beatrice, maybe?
Ready for
Yeah, so that's a Beatrice. I think we're in a pretty reasonable spot here. We do need to kill Balam, so that's probably what Rickety goes after. Yep, that's also pretty inconvenient, but it works. Okay, that's great for us, because now we can just stick Rickety in the middle of this. All we need to do is make sure we don't leave a bad amount of space. Blink to heal's good, so that cancels out Axl Pyro. And we may actually be able to get Astra in a position where it stops them even being able to get the damage off, but I don't think that's what we want to do. So we want to be about here. Make sure there's enough space for Rickety.
Woo!
So can we place Rickety before we enter the breach? We can, that's perfect. So we'll enter the breach.
Focus up.
Place Rickety down here.
One guy's trash.
Rickety's going to move over to here, and I think we do actually have to go for thingy. Although,
At your service.
do you know what, Max? If Max can get that mine, we're in a good spot. I think we have to go for this regardless.
You don't
Okay, that's the correct choice then, because it didn't actually go through. So we're actually going to lose to this next turn potentially, so we need to find a way of dealing more. So I guess we just have to push.
I got this. Probably.
I think we have to go for this. I don't really know what the right choice is here.
You have that coming.
We've got a crit, which is nice, so we can just plink here. I don't think there's anything we need to grow Cinder for, but the fact this is here is quite funny. If this had exploded, we'd be in a great spot. But Disruptor's good for us next turn. We can still into the breach Shrapnel, or we can just play Amplifier Bitol, so all in all, this is fine. This is gonna stun all of these for one more turn. But the fact that we can possibly just jump over here if they don't place anything and just into the breach of Shrapnel should be pretty solid for us. Like, we're gonna still struggle to get the damage through, but we've got Disruptor as well, so I'm not too worried about this situation anymore. Like, this does look ridiculous. Like, this doesn't look good for us at all. If they leave a space for us to get up here, we just go for that. And we just into the breach Shrapnel. Okay, that's a mine, that's fine. And a blink. All good. So actually, if they move away, yeah, we can just use this mine for it. Okay, so now we need to actually get into a different, better angle. So we don't want to move Astra too much, so we want to try and avoid that. This is such an interesting turn. What if we just do something like this? This looks like it could work. And then Astra can move over here. We can... What can Maximus do? Anything useful?
Oh, I forgot my lucky cravat.
Not really, so we'll just pop him back here and go for a shot. I think we're still into the breaching Shrapnel here.
Tossing them out.
Oh no, we don't have the range. This actually is a big mistake. This has gone really badly. We're going to lose to our favourite unit. So we can hit this.
No pause button, huh?
I mean, this is horrendous. We don't have any plinks, do we? Do we? Oh my goodness, what a terrible turn. We're just going to get our whole army held up over and over again. Okay, I'm fine with that. This is good. Balam can stun 2 of these, but then we've got Shrapnel coming up. It's okay, I don't feel too bad here, but this was not a good start. Yep. So this is going to stun... Oh yeah, it can only stun 2 now. They have to make a real choice here, because otherwise they just lose Balam. So this has not been a good game for us. This has been a very bad start, but we're not out of it yet. Nectarvine is pretty brutal. But again, we've got Amplifier Bitol or Deadeye next turn, so we should be fine on the... Oh, did they miss? They missed. They only hit the 1. Both Shrapnel and Eztli are alive. Yep, this is great. This is really good for us. So we can kill multiple units potentially. We can... Yeah, we're in a really good spot now. Especially with Amplifier Bitol, there's actually a world in which... You know, we could even just get everything we want to done. So, we can move over here and just take this out. This is a given. Yeah, we can just get that done.
I will not cease.
Max can move
I've
up
got plans soon.
and play Amplifier Bitol down. About here seems good. And take this shot, which is 100%. And plink it.
What's this juice? I'll make you
Astra can go over here.
I may be
We've got a
small,
4, which is
but
great.
I'm nasty.
Max can't hit anything, so we just hit these and just move up here for next turn. Can grow a Cinder, so we're going to lose this, which is not great. But we've got the pressure on them, is the thing. I don't think we need to grow a Cinder anywhere, so we'll just leave this. We'll lose these units. I think now this is all just turned fully into a race, so we just need to basically race the Nectarvine. We just keep pushing damage through. Bitol's going to be super key here if we can just get this damage done. Bitol and Plink, I suppose. Because, yeah, if they go up there, that's fine, because Shrapnel's going to be going up this way. We're going to move Astra up. I wasn't hoping that would happen, but like, we're not out of this. We're not solidly winning this yet. There's been a few misplays here, but we're not out yet. So we can use the Astra to body block this, which is absolutely what we're going to do.
Beautiful day for
That's oh, she's immobile. Okay, so that's fine. No body blocking, but that works out alright anyway. Okay, so what's the best angle we can get with this? So we can get here and still be in range of Bitol, which is perfect. So we just go for that. We go for Astra's. Really? Okay, well, there's a line here. We get one crit here, we've got lethal. Not quite, but we've got a plink down. And then we can into the breach, play Deadeye, get a good line of sight. Deadeye can buff themselves, and we can get the lethal. There we go. Whew, that was a tense game. A very tense game. So we nearly got, like, taken out by that Peacemaker Balam. Like, I didn't feel overly stressed a few times, but then, like, the third stun came in, and I was like, that is a pretty shocking pretty shocking situation. Lots of misplays there. Oh no, cancel. Just went into the public game by mistake. Let's go into the private. I think we're going to go with the same list. It's done us well so far. We're 5 for 5 with it, and we've got the same opponent. They could be playing their other list though. But this will be a really good sort of continuation of the tournament here. At least we've taken a game as well, so even if we don't win, taking a game probably messes up the Swiss pairings a little bit. Okay, so they're playing Zax again. What do we want here? Plink and Lifeline's good. I feel like Lifeline's going to really throw things off, especially if we don't use it early on. I kind of want to be going second here, but I hate these spawns. These are the worst spawns in the game, in my opinion. They're so close, you can't do anything. So I'm really hoping to not get that not get that issue straight into us. Okay. So they've got to pick their assists. Who's first? We're first. Okay.
One win, one bug.
So we just take the shot. We did get that, which is nice. We can pop back here. Get the plink.
This.
And now, because of this, we can just deploy ourselves a Cinder Orb somewhere relatively safe. I think here seems pretty safe. Let's go here. That seems the most safe. So that's really good for us, having a nice safe turn 1. We should be able to keep that orb safe. Yeah, no good lines of sight. And we can just start deploying out onto things. So obviously we know what's coming here. It's their max. But this time, because we're going first... Oh, there is a line of sight here. So we're going to take this shot. 40%. Okay, we missed that. But the fact that we've got 4 Cinder means that we can block that same line of sight with a Shrapnel. And then Shrapnel can start just working the front end of the board. So this is what we're going to go for here. Next turn it means we can also into the breach Maximus if we need to, which is something I think a lot of people are a little bit begrudged to do, but I think it works out really well. If they keep moving forwards, that's great for us. We're fine with that. I was kind of hoping they put them in pillar prison because there's this little gap here we can't actually get to. That miss is nice. I think Lifeline's going to work out really well for us here. I think it's going to be a bit of a surprise to them. Also, there's very little chance that there's a line here that we can't find on them. This looks like it could be a Beatrice.
With you till
Yep,
the
so that's Beatrice. And then that's Max coming out. Yeah, so if this is Beatrice... okay, yeah, 2 misses, that's what we hope for. And then we can just possibly move over here, or maybe even... I don't think anything can move through this gap, unfortunately. So what's ridiculous about these maps is that the map is huge, and Beatrice blocks the whole thing. So it looks like we can just be out of melee range while being in range of Beatrice. Sorry, of Max. Ooh, the big crit as well. So the interesting thing here is that we might be able to get a good line of sight onto Maximus a different way. But I actually think, okay, now that we've got that plink,
What's this do?
I don't think we need to do it. I think we can just try and play our own defensive units. So, like, if we play a Maximus like up here, maybe, and then play something like Deadeye at this sort of angle. So we want Deadeye to be one where it's going to be hard for them to get out of.
Just like we practiced.
There we go. So this is a really good spot for us. We've got multiple angles onto Max next turn. If we need to, we can interreach Rickety again. Okay, so they're just pushing out onto our Max, which is fine. We've actually got... yeah, if they need to get this hit is the thing. So if they don't get this hit, we're in a great spot. But them moving up this far is also a risk. Okay, yeah, that's absolutely reasonable. I think that's a mistake. They could get more damage, but it also means it gives us a line to move down this way and start getting more aggressive ourselves, which is actually what we'd rather be doing here. So as long as we leave enough space here, we can still just keep pushing damage through.
A good craft today.
Okay, so Balam's obviously our target now. We don't want to deal with that again. But I think here we can't quite get in range of that, so it may even be the case that we just start churning out damage as fast as we can. We did get the hit on Balam as well, which is nice. So over here, with Force Cinder, so we can play something, and we can just release Ozos. And I think that's what we want to do here, to just push this damage through as much as possible.
Blowing button.
We're going to pop Astra down into a spot where she can keep pushing as well. And then we're going to place Blindsider Eztli down, probably something like over here. Make it hard for them, and we're going to keep this damage clock ticking on them. So it's harder and harder for them to run away. We're going to be able to get good movement out. If they're spending Cinder on movement assists here, we're in a really solid spot. Looks like my frame rate's dropped slightly there. Okay, so they're just stunning Shrapnel. And we're just going to keep trying to find angles onto their captain and keep just pushing for damage as and when we can. With Astra having access to Into the Breach Rickety next turn, I think we're in a really solid spot for damage, as long as we can get somewhere with Deadeye into range. If this is... okay, so that's their Nectarvine. So I actually think Nectarvine might be what we kill here first, because Nectarvine is terrifying, and I think we need to find ways of dealing with what they've got. This is fine. Like, we just deal 4 damage here, and possibly even just... I actually think we can Rickety into this and see if we even need to, because there's a world in which we could even just run all in. I'm going to push for the captain damage here. So I'm going to Into the Breach Rickety. Pop it down as far forward as we can.
It's not junk, it's experience.
Okay, so we want to see what we can get with Deadeye first. So Deadeye can pop over here. That's 65, so if we Ozos this, it becomes 100. We can go for this. We don't care about the additional damage too much. So we're just pushing for this. Get the explosion is great.
Play model. You spent yet?
Eztli can just pop over here and kill this. Given how little Cinder they have, they don't even have enough damage to kill anything here. So if we lifeline Rickety,
They'll hate this.
they're going to really struggle from here.
Give me another
There we go.
minute.
We've got them down to 2. So We've got Into the Breach onto anything we want here, so we've got multiple Scattervines. They're going to gain 4 life, but yeah, I think we've got this. I think we've backed them into a corner and left them in a position where they can stun both of these, that's fine, but Astra can move over here, we can Into the Breach something this direction and still bring out our Blindsider Eztli as well. So I don't think there's any way of them defending versus 4 health. Okay, running works. Funnily enough, running actually means that we probably just... Oh, please don't do it. You're going to hit your... Okay, gone that way, that's fine. Because we've got Deadeye here as well, it's really hard for them to run and still be efficient in terms of like getting away from us. So I'm not sure where they're going to go from here. Like, we're in range with Eztli. We've probably got easily in a good shot with Astra. Yeah, so Eztli's going to run away, but this should maybe give us access to something with Deadeye. Yeah, but either way, if we range up here, we can actually just kill... we can kill Balam here. And they've actually pulled themselves out of range of their plant, so we actually only need 2, so we have got this. So we're just going to hop over here, into the breach, pop down Axl Pyro, Fire Flamer here, and call it a day. There we go. So that is 6-0 so far. That's some really, really solid gameplay there. We've managed to just, you know, push the damage through every single game. I'm really happy with how the results have gone. We've not actually dropped a single game, which is fantastic. And statistically speaking, there is a chance that we might actually be the winner of this event after this round. So that'll be awesome. I'm really, really happy with this. So good opponents every round. We've had good records. We've had a really successful time. I'm now going to pop over back to the Discord and see how things are going over there. Hello, I'm here.
Yeah, there is a very real chance where Underhaul won the event just now. We'll see when we get a better look at when we get a better look at how the other results are going. But you two are both only 2 O's.
Yeah,
That'll be awesome.
Any words, Mr. Underhaul, the person who just won first place?
I want to say thank you for having fun with me, everyone. Like, it's been really enjoyable. I've had like just a really good time playing fun games, and sorry that I picked Astra.
No, it's just correct. I'm just regretting that I made my Astra list horrible.
It was. I had 2 different lists. I was genuinely fully prepared to pick either, but Astra is like my test the waters list, and it's fairly okay into everything. And if that didn't lose, then there's no point in me swapping. Yeah, I loved it. Thank you, everyone. Like every single person I played against, talked to, you're all wonderful people. So hopefully we can just do this again sometime and have more fun together.
Yeah, I mean, I host it once a month, so we'll see you next month then.
Hey, more.
All right.
See
bye.
you.
Everybody say bye, stream.
Bye, stream.
I wouldn't want to be.
Okay, well, that's everything that we've had for our tournament stream. I genuinely feel like I could just carry on going, but this has been nearly 3 hours now, and this is going to be a hell of a long upload for when we get this onto YouTube. But thank you everyone so much for watching. If you have enjoyed it, we have now got loads of different things on Twitch. We've got a Patreon set up, we've got donations, we've got subscriptions. You can just follow the stream. I'm just shilling regularly now because I'd love to be able to get as much progress as possible. I'd love to make this something I can spend more time on, and I'm very grateful for every single person that comes and shows up, especially Thomas throwing me bits that he's not supposed to. And honestly, all of you, thank you so much for joining in.